Question. Hi, thank you so much. Do you think Hollywood is really underestimating the appetite of the movie-going audience? The movie was highly controversial, highly contradictory in terms. It seems like all these movies either there's one way or other ones. These producers, Amazon, Netflix, always seem to have like this very, uh, cookie cutter kind of vision on the film, but real controversy seems as it's what, grossing $1 billion, one of the most grossing biopic. I mean, there's a hunger for these kinds of films that doesn't tell you what to do. It makes the person, the audience, think in the movie theater. Were you surprised by that?
Well, yes, pleasantly surprised. And actually, last week I had an opportunity to interview Nolan on stage at City University in New York, and that was my question to him. I said, this movie has been commercially successful, and do you think that's going to send a message to Hollywood to encourage them to do more big movies about serious historical events? And he said, well, we have sold $1 billion worth of tickets almost, and, but you never know how Hollywood will react to these things. But yeah, I'm encouraged. I'd like to think that the age of doing one superhero movie after another is over, and that this will send a message that we need to do serious subjects and take the audience seriously. And there's a hunger there for understanding real history and the human experience through biography in part. In Philadelphia, for instance, in October of '45, he said, you may think this weapon was very expensive because we spent $2 billion on it. Actually, it was cheap. And any nation, however poor or impoverished, that decides that they want to build this weapon, they will be able to do so. So he was predicting North Korea and Pakistan and India and Israel and maybe Iran tomorrow acquiring these weapons. There is no secret to it. There's no secrets to the physics. It's just an engineering problem. And he then went on in that speech to say that these are weapons for aggressors. They're not military weapons. They're weapons for terrorism. And they were used in the first instance on an enemy that was already essentially defeated. And so that's the line that Nolan reproduced in the script.
And it was this opposition to the H-bomb that many think led to him getting vilified in the security clearance. So he opposed the hydrogen bomb, which was going to be how many more times destructive?
Well, the hydrogen could be 1,000 times more destructive than the Hiroshima bomb, or 100 times. You could scale it up or down, and that's what they eventually invented. He was opposed to the development of the hydrogen, even after the Soviets exploded their own atomic weapon in 1949. This country experienced a wave of hysteria. What can we do in response? And Truman eventually authorized, over the opposition of Oppenheimer, a program to develop a hydrogen bomb that could be 1,000 times more destructive than what was dropped on Hiroshima. So he would be horrified at the place that we are today. We have, far fewer nuclear weapons today than we did at the height of the Cold War, but there are still like thousands. And there is the possibility of an accident. There is the possibility of nuclear terrorism, which Oppenheimer also warned against. So he was trying to make the argument to Harry Truman and other politicians that we now recognize, because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, what a terrible weapon this is, and therefore we now have to ban it and put international controls, and create an international control regime that would have the ability, the sovereign ability to inspect any laboratory or factory anywhere in the world and control this technology. And of course, no one listened to him, and we're now in a very dangerous place.
I just